Welcome to another episode of the Charlotte Mason Philippines, where we talk about our day to day ponderings and applications of Miss Charlotte Mason's method. Hi, everyone. I'm Gina Roldan of Our Living Learning.
And I'm Normi Herrera of CM Pinay Book Club. Grab your coffee or tea, take a break, and join our conversation.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to CM Philippines. This is a podcast, and it's more of a conversation. And the aim is to talk about the Charlotte Mason method in the Philippine context. I am Gina Roldan of Our Living Learning. How about you?
And my name's Normi Herrera, and I'm the mommy behind Homeschooling Herreras. Yan.
Yes. So why are we here? What's this all about, Normie? What are we trying to do here? Can you
Yeah.
explain to them?
Why did we even start this podcast? Well, basically kasi 'di ba, Charlotte Mason is a concept in the homeschooling community na parang it's something new. What is this about? Is this like another method altogether, or is it the same thing that we're doing? So basically, itong ating conversation, it's just creating an avenue to talk about what this method is all about, how we apply it in our context as, Filipinos. Kasi, again, saan ba galing si Charlotte Mason? How long has it been? Bakit parang ngayon ko lang siya nirinig? And things like that. And we hope that through this podcast, we would be able to, shed light about parents, to parents who would like to know more about it. Diba, no, Gina?
Yes, oo. I think the best way really to learn about Charlotte Mason is definitely to read the books. But another level of learning would be to discuss it with someone. And this is on a personal note. I love discussing Charlotte Mason, and I think the start of this podcast will be very uh, it will benefit me so much because I will be talking to Normie who is in a different context
Likewise.
altogether, diba? So we're from different backgrounds, but our commonality is that we love the method. And I think that's what the podcast is all about. We're trying to make more conversations about the Charlotte Mason method, provide an avenue to converse more about the method, not necessarily to teach. Okay, we are
Yeah.
not teaching, we are sharing what we know and what we don't know, di ba? Di ba,
That's
Normie?
right. We're basically just being, vulnerable, showing or sharing our own experiences using the method, what worked, and why this particular approach is really something that we enjoy as a family, and things like that. So, it's really nothing very formal kasi, di ba, Gina? As sa Living Learning, if you want to know more about it, they have immersion classes. There are
Yes,
other resources where you can go
yes,
to.
yes.
So the podcast is really more all about kwentuhan with the parents, no? So it's like
Yes, kwentuhan.
we're inviting you in our living room, sit down with us and just have that chat. And we are really just showing you how raw it all is and how feasible it is, no? The method. It's nothing too rigid that you need everything put up together, because again, we're both mothers. Not only homeschooling mothers, we also have other things that we do, di ba? So,
Oh,
yun.
yeah. So again, nothing formal. In fact, nothing formal at all. Because again, mga nanay lang po kami doing our thing and we just have a bit of extra time to do this and to share what we love about education. And so let's introduce ourselves first. Maybe Normie, introduce yourself. Tell us about who you are, your family, and anything that would help the parents know more about your context.
Yeah, well, actually, Gina, I'm a wife to a pastor. No, my husband is a full-time minister. And I'm homeschooling 3 kids. I actually not three, kasi feeling ko, pati yung newborn ko, homeschool ko na. But I have 3 kids, and yung two sons ko, I have 2 sons, a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. And we've been doing the Charlotte Mason method for maybe about 2 years. Not really very consistent. I mean, not tuloy-tuloy, no? Kasi there are times talaga na we have to put down some of the materials and just do another, not really approach, kasi we're really just trying to understand pa the method, and that's why we're having this conversation, because it's really the learning eh. You don't come in the method na, oh, I know all about this. This sabi dito, kailangan may box ka na ganito and all that. But we really came into this method learning about it one step at a time, one day at a time, and things like that. And we've been homeschooling since 2017 formally. So
Mm.
that's what we're doing. And ako personally, I'm a full-time homemaker. I just gave birth 5 months ago. And aside from that, I'm also a breastfeeding counselor. I'm also an advocate of gentle birth. And ano po ba? Yun lang. Basically, that's all the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. Aside from, I'm also helping out with managing our small business, online business. So yun. Basically, that's it. And I met Gina. No, kasi parang, saan na kayo nagkita ni Gina, no? Because si Gina is, I've attended some of her classes, no? And I've also been following our Living Learning and their journey as a family in the method as well. This is what I appreciate about this thing that just organically grew. That's the community that we have, no? The Charlotte Mason community.
Yeah, the community. Before I introduce myself, maybe let's touch on that. Now, what is the Charlotte Mason Philippines community? Um, uh, I feel that like what you said a while ago, a lot of Filipinas right now, families, dads and moms are parang biglang nadidiscover tong method na to. From all walks of life, from different backgrounds, different providers, independent homeschoolers, all searching for ano ba tong Charlotte Mason method na to. And I think that is the gist of Charlotte Mason Philippines. The gist here is that we are Filipino families trying to understand the Charlotte Mason method and how we can actually apply it and make it real in the Philippine context. Kasi po,
Yes.
iba pa rin po kung tayo mga Pilipino ang nakakaintindi talaga sa method, no? Iba pa rin yung context. I've talked to a lot of people internationally about the Charlotte Mason method, pero for some reason, iba pa rin pagkausap ko sarili kong, you know,
Kababayan.
kababayan. Iba pa rin kasi iba talaga ang lens natin, and so that is the community. And again, we are inviting you to listen in, and maybe hopefully some of you can
Yes.
share your journey with us and share your thoughts, your experience, and what is it about Charlotte Mason that you fell in love with? So yun para sa akin
Right.
ng community. Ikaw, para sa how do you see the Charlotte Mason Philippines, the community?
The community, it's really, I really appreciate having this community, no, as a homeschooling family doing this method. Kasi there are so many things that the other parents freely share. Kasi the Charlotte Mason community that we have, no, we have the Facebook group.
Mhm.
This group is composed of different families, eh. And we're all from different providers, some independent, no, and from other regions. May iba pang Filipinos na sa overseas, pero they're part of the Charlotte Mason community. And the uniting principle, kumbaga, if I may say so, is the desire, no, to really implement the method in the best way according to what's suitable to their family. So talagang it's very generous sharing of materials, of resources, of experiences, what you've learned, what did not work for you, and things like that. So it's really that kind of community, no, coming together. Diba?
Yes, yes, yes. Kasi at this point, the homeschooling community at large is so large. Ang
Yes,
laki-laki na po ng homeschooling community, and I've always appreciated ever since whenever yung simula pa lang ng homeschooling journey ko, when I started homeschooling, it always mattered that I have a community. It's where, I always searched for community. And so we are hoping that Charlotte Mason Philippines would be a venue, an opportunity, a place, a safe place even to to just discuss and maybe ask questions and really get to know how we will implement the method. So there, that is the community. So Normie, introduce yourself kanina. Ako naman po si Gina Roldan. Uh, I have 4 children and nainggit ako kay Normie, may baby siya. And I just realized now, no, well, I've known about it already, but Normie is a breastfeeding advocate and a gentle birth advocate. And I am also like that. It's one of my top passions. You know, kung hindi po ko nag-homeschool and doing all the things that I do, I would want to be a breastfeeding consultant or, assist mothers. That's what I love doing.
Right. Yes.
There's something about assisting and serving mothers. That's what I like. So anyway, ginagawa na ni Normie para sa akin. So yun, I blog and I share my stories at Our Living Learning, and I'm also the directress of Living Learning Homeschool. And but basically, if you strip all of that, all of those things, I am just a regular mom. I am a regular mom trying to educate my 4 children the best way I can. And Charlotte Mason, and I'm sure Normie can say this also, it really helped me. It helped her in choosing things for our family and doing things for our family. And that's the part that I'd love to share in this conversation with Normie, no, na sino ba tayong dalawa as nanay
Mm.
sa mga anak natin? Paano ba tayo nag-survive? So that's it. Yeah, I'm Gina and there. Normie, maybe you could share something. We want to keep this short lang kasi, no? Short lessons pa rin tayo maski sa podcast.
That's right. We apply the principles.
Oo, maybe you could share something na ano at this moment, you have a newborn baby and you have 2 children. Kasi ano ang favorite aspect mo about Charlotte Mason in your journey right now as a homeschooling mother? Or
Well,
anything?
yung pinaka ano talaga sa akin, what really drawn me kasi with the method is how organic it is. Yung parang it's really not creating like a system that you want to implement in your schedule na kailangan mangyari ito. But it's really integrated in your season as a family, in your everyday life. No,
Mm.
and that was very helpful for me, especially when I had a newborn. Parang it wasn't so hard for me to transition from the no newborn, and then after giving birth, nako, ito na. I was in the thick of our homeschooling seasons. Patapos na nung school year, actually. So, that's what I really love about it. And I really also enjoy the conversations that we have kasi it's not really like question and answer. O, sagutin mo to, ano to, and ganyan. But what we really have during our lessons is the deep conversations na I am
Ah,
able to draw out the heart of my child. And kahit ako, I'm learning from their own insights. And those are the things like, I cannot say na bits and pieces kasi those are the major things that, kumbaga, make our homeschooling life very enriching. So, yun yung sa akin, personally. That's what I
yeah.
love about
Yeah, you mentioned about conversations kasi so me naman, my eldest is already ilan taon na ba siya? 14. And at 14, I'm already seeing the fruit of the many years
Wow.
of narration. I'm seeing the fruit of the many years of trying to be consistent in habits. And right now in my journey in seeing this, and I have a 7-year-old. What I love about it at this point is that I can really let go.
Yes.
I can let go and I can actually really trust my children. I don't need to like, you do this, you do that. So may wisdom talaga si Charlotte Mason in a way. And so letting go is a daily process, and I think it's one of the things that I value now. Na in letting go, you are not necessarily And I want to give context to letting go. Hindi ko po pinapabayaan ng anak ko. Ang point lang po doon is you're trusting that their mind is
Yes.
capable really of taking in all these rich ideas. Hindi na po natin kailangang kayang-kaya po nila at dito ko po siya nakikita. Nakikita ko sa 7-year-old ko at nakikita ko sa 14-year-old ko. And that gives, kung anxious ako dati, medyo parang hindi na ako anxious ngayon. So yun lang po. And we will share more about our journey ni Normi. Kasi nga po, iba po yung background ni Normi, ibang background ko. And I'm sure that in our conversation, maybe you will be able to relate some way or the other. So yun, I'm excited, Normie, to discuss further with you. And anything, ano sa tingin mo nga pag-uusapan ba natin? Anong
Well,
mga,
actually,
oh,
ang saya, I'm actually looking forward to the next one kasi this is where we are going to talk about more about Charlotte Mason talaga. I mean, ano ba to? Bakit may bagong method? Is this something novel na concept or has it been around many years pero hindi lang ako aware and things like that. So, that's what we're gonna talk about next time, 'di ba?
next
The
time,
next
oo, oo. So,
and kasi nga, 'di ba, like you're sharing those things, you're able to let go. Pero how exactly do you do that? Is it really just, oh, bahala ka na dyan, may buka dyan and all? But, it's just one part, no? The method in itself talaga, si Charlotte Mason, she really teaches the parents na for you to be able to reach to this point, these are the things that you have to establish, or these are the principles behind that. And those are the things that kami ni Gina, really enjoy learning. And like what Gina said, nakakatuwa, no? Parang, ay, ako rin, sana nandiyan na rin ako sa ganyang moment. You're seeing the fruit. Yung parang, it's really hard in the beginning, no? Pag mga maliliit pa sila. Kasi parang, sometimes you, parang second guess yourself na parang, is this really working?
yes,
It,
oo.
is it really effective? But then again, when you trust the process and the method, parang, wow, oo nga, no? There's wisdom. Like what you said, there's wisdom in what she has been
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, so the next topic would be about what's with Charlotte Mason ba? What makes her different? And what are the things about her method that's different? And how did it help, And so little by little, we will learn more about her method through this conversation. Again, this is not to teach. We are not teaching. We are just sharing and from two moms who love the method and love educating our children. And so that's it. I hope you join us for the next session. Session ba tawag dito? I don't know what it is. But
Wala pa. Nagano pa rin tayo. We're just feeling the moment at this
yes,
time.
yes, yes. But I'm excited. I'm excited. And again, Normie, I'm excited really that I am going to discuss this with you. I'm really excited about that. And so yun lang po. Any last words, Normie, for those that are listening in?
Well, I would just like to encourage the parents who are really interested to know the method. It's really a beautiful method, and we just really hope that through this podcast we would be able to help enrich also your homeschooling journeys and you educating your children, because it's really not, you're not doing this for the academics lang but it's really instilling that love for learning in your children. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who's listening right now also, but one thing that I always keep in mind also in my journey is as much as we see my phrase parate, my principle si Charlotte Mason that children are persons, no? And yung statement na yan, napakabigat niyan. And we will probably discuss that in some
Yeah.
other time. But in relation to that, I also believe and truly, truly, truly believe that parents, moms, homeschooling moms are also persons. And when we view our journey, lalo na siguro sa mga nag-uumpisa ngayon, trying to figure things out, remember that na, we too are persons, we are capable, we can learn, and we can grow. And that is the idea again of the Charlotte Mason Philippine community. We have a vision of mothers, fathers, growing together, learning together in the Philippine context para ma-enrich natin ang mga anak nating mga Pilipino, no, their
Yes.
lives. So,
Yeah, that's right. It's quite exciting rin kasi when you also begin to understand what Charlotte Mason really espouses, no, when it comes to education, the the generation of children that will be educated in this way, really parang it's a different heart, it's a different kind of soul. Parang, kumbaga parang, and I'm not saying this because we're doing the method. I'm not hard selling it to this, di ba? We're not really hard selling it, but kasi we're experiencing it and we're seeing it in our families, in our children. Parang, wow, these are the children that we want to raise at such a time as this. So parang, di ba, Gina, parang when we were first talking, when we were just collaborating first on this one, parang, bakit ba ngayon pa lang nabubuhay si CM after so many years at such a time as this, di ba? So, those are some of the things that we may touch on, we will touch on as we
yeah,
converse.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm really excited kasi I believe many will be blessed as we come in and converse with each other, share
Mm.
your thoughts with us, your insights, and we're here really just to open this avenue and let's learn together, no, as parents, as educators for our children, right?
Yes. So there, thank you po again for listening, and we'll see you again and hope you listen in again the next time. So there, goodbye. And again, Normie, thank you, and I'll see you again for our next session, okay?
Yes. See
Sige.
you.
Sige, bye. All
Bye.
right. Thank you. Thank you for joining Charlotte Mason Philippines. Again, we are a community podcast, and we hope that this episode helped, encouraged, and inspired you today.
And there will be more conversations, so please subscribe to our podcast channels and join our Facebook group, Charlotte Mason Philippines.